Hey everybody, this is Perch. All right, let's go to this mail. It says an idea for comics. Let's see what this idea is. Dear Perch, I have an idea for comics, or as I like to call them, commie. Okay, so it's going to be one of these, or as I like to call them, commie comics. Comics that promote woke ideology. Fine, let the comic. It's okay. It's too many words that start with letter C, and increasingly as I read this mail, I'm thinking of a different C word. Anyway, um, okay, commie. Fine, let commie comics go woke and broke for some of the comics, but they should be required to print an equal number of comics from the conservative angle. This way, everybody would get what they want, and we would quickly see which sells. Half of their line would sell great, and half of their line would be broke. I know the cowards at Marvel and DC, aka yes, we got it, aka commie comics, would never go for such an idea, but I think this is a way forward for comics. Curious to hear you discuss this on your show. Okay. I'll say this on the offset. I remember, and this dates me, but what doesn't, right? Rush Limbaugh, when he had a radio show and he would do his talk show, he loved to do nicknames. He's kind of the predecessor to how Donald Trump is called Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, and stuff like that. Limbaugh would give everybody little names, and I'm sure there's probably somebody before him that would do this. But it always turned me off. And at times, Limbaugh would have I think, an intelligent point. He would like be making a kind of business point, and I'd be like, oh, that's a good logical thought through point. And then he'd be like, but commie Bill Clinton or something like that. And I'd be like, it's like I'm smart on one hand, I'm saying something intelligent, and then I just shoot myself in the face by throwing out what is like a school children's nickname for people. And but it's stuck. I mean, look, like left, right, whatever your politics are, people just love their little petty, ridiculous little dumbass names. Oh, the orange Cheeto. Oh, Elizabeth Warren, or giant ass teeth. I don't know. Well, she does have big teeth, but I just to me, it's always a shame when somebody's actually making an intelligent, cognizant point, and then they feel the need to just now we're going to do some name calling, which makes me sound like a 4-year-old. So I'm not a big fan of commie comics. But let me make sure I understand your idea, because I'm a bit confused. So you're saying that the big manufacturers are printing out, comics that they want to make, right? They're free to do it. But they're printing out woke comics. They're printing out comics that are too gay, right? Okay, that's what they're doing. And your idea to stop the communist comics company is that you're going to require them to print an equal number of conservative comics. This is how you're not going to be communist or socialist, is you're going to take a private company and you're going to force them to print an equal number of left-leaning and right-leaning comics. This is how we are not communists. That's your idea. It's not just me, right? The rest of you are hearing this, right? Increasingly, if you look at it from this lens, it gets sillier and sillier and sillier. Nobody is forcing you to buy comics. Nobody is forcing you to buy video games. Nobody forced you to buy Assassin's Creed, Black Ninja, or whatever the new one is. Nobody is forcing you to buy that stuff. If they were forcing you to buy it, that would be communist, right? That's actually not. That would be like totalitarian. You have to buy this thing. But it is your free choice to buy it or not. It's also, I certainly would raise my hand. I would rather have this. I want comic book companies to make the comics that they want to make. They should be in charge. They get to print what they feel like. Now that I think is freedom they should have. And equally, I want the freedom to not buy those comics if I think they're ass. To me, that that seems like a decent system. Now, granted, it may mean that people get in charge of some of the comic companies of characters I love, and they may take the X-Men and turn it into an absolute dumpster fire shit show. Could happen. Yeah, imagine that. What would that look like? I have no idea. You could do that. And as a longtime lover of the X-Men, I will certainly be pissed and unhappy. But I'm not going to be so pissed and unhappy that I want to seize control of their company and like force Gail Simone to write a Republican-based X-Men. I don't like that. That sounds insane. It's not. It doesn't just sound insane. That is insane. Nobody don't do that. I'm willing to take a chance on the fact that I may never ever get a comic. Now that reality is there's plenty of independent comics and even some mainstream comics that I'm enjoying right now. There's plenty of them. I very much like Weapon X-Men, an X title. I think it's fun. But I don't like in nowhere in my wildest dreams do I think the antidote to comics I don't like is to force them to write comics from the opposite ideology. And for what it's worth, if I had to force a comic company to do anything, it would be to write the comics with no ideology. I don't want goddamn Republican comics. But those I don't fuck. They're every time I've read one, they're awful. I'm sorry. They're just boring and shitty. The Democrat comics are as well. I don't want those comics unless they're like some kind of parody, and even then they're rarely funny. And that's not a shot at anyone, by the way. I'm simply saying, who in their right mind goes to your local comic shop and goes, man, I hope to God Spider-Man is dealing with some Republican values in this issue. No. All I want for my Spider-Man is crazy poses, webs going all over the place, Mary Jane in some lingerie. That's all. Well, like that's all I need. You know, I'm a simple man with simple asks. I don't want this. So no, I don't want comic companies to be forced to write half liberal, half conservative comics and then see who sells better. Like that. What a terrible experiment. That sounds just awful. I hope everyone sells nothing. I'm watching right now, by the way, Nintendo is announcing some games and apparently they're expensive. And okay, I'm going to wander into gaming for a moment. If for those of you who aren't pissed at what I'm saying, you're about to be, so we'll go there. But just like comics, I'm a consistent person. You don't have to buy the Nintendo Switch. You don't have to buy it. This isn't a don't like my politics, don't buy my books. This is an appeal to you as the person with the wallet, the cash. You don't have to buy the goddamn Switch too. No one's forcing you. So watching you lose your shit about, like, there's these people who are like, I guess some of the games are going to be like $80, $90, $100. And people are like, nope, my wallet is shut. I'm never buying a Nintendo game again. Bullshit, you little bitch. You are absolutely going to line up and buy Mario Kart World Deluxe or whatever the fuck it is. You absolutely are going to do it, whether it's $60, $100, $120. You're going to tell me that $20, that's like, sorry, it's too much money. My wallet is forever closed to you, Nintendo. Bullshit. I don't believe it. I'm sorry, no. You know, the same people who are saying this liberally will like toss $20, $40, $50 in some dumb fuck super chat where somebody's licking a toilet or whatever they're doing. Like, no, like, come on. You're gonna pony up that shit. You just want to act like a big man, but unfortunately you look stupid with the I'm never gonna buy this. You know, look, what's the phrase? It's not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. Just don't buy it, you little bitch. Just don't buy it. You don't need to go on Twitter and virtue signal that you're like, I do $60 to $80. No, thank you, Nintendo. I'm done. Fuck off with that. It sounds so phony. It's so incredibly phony. And then there's another group of people. Apparently, some of these games, they're not. When you buy the game, you're buying a key to the game. And when you plug it in, it's basically unlocking the game. And people are like, I don't even how are the normies ever going to understand this? I think they'll figure it out because they'll buy the game and they'll plug in the thing and then it will download some shit like every other goddamn game you buy, and then it will run and they'll play it. That's how it will work. Normies want to play the game. Normies are not going to get into the social, technological, political aspects of a key versus an actual game. And by the way, how the fuck are you going to fit like Elder Quest on a Nintendo Switch cartridge? You physically can't. So it's going to have some downloads. Now, do I like the world of not owning the physical product? No. I like owning the physical product. I mean, there's too many things that could go wrong. The internet goes down. There's still like a bunch of shit that happens and then your game won't work. I like to own the game. That said, I remember buying like Final Fantasy VIII and buying this big ass CD case with like 8 different discs in it and having to get off my ass on the couch and switch out the disc in my PlayStation 2. And it was a pain in the ass. I didn't enjoy that either. So maybe I just hate everything. But for fuck's sake, you people, like just don't buy the game. And this like the normies will never understand how cartridges work. Yeah, I think they will. They figured it out. The normies have figured out Netflix. I same thing, by the way. If you're old enough, you manage to see all this dumb shit repeat itself. With Netflix, like when Netflix moved from you could get a physical disc in the mail and then you would have to return it. And then, you could go online. I remember all these people like, oh my God, people won't actually be able to hold the movie in their hands when they rent it. Nobody's ever going to be able to understand this. The normies are going to be so confused. Yeah, they figured it out. It'll be fine. You're telling me that a normie, I'm convinced more and more people don't even know what normies are or aren't. But a normie who goes to Target, buys a game, opens the game, takes a little piece of plastic out, shoves it into the Switch, turns it on, and plays it. You're telling me that now, in the new world, the normie will go to Target, buy the game, open it up, take out the little piece of plastic, put it in the Nintendo Switch. It will then activate the game, and they'll play it. And that's going to be just so fucking confusing. They'll never figure it out. That's what you're saying? I'm sorry. I apologize for being salty, but goddamn, commie comics, fuck. No. Thanks for listening.